Man, just give me like 10 seconds of what the Bop 5000 is, real quick.
It's a comprehensive strategic program to create an economic engine using home ownership, small business development, and the engagement of politics.
Woke up hungry, had to make a change, rearrange the way I made my change. I'm just trying to stop the sliding over drugs and gangs. Old school, shy vet, remember, let me bang. So glad my parents rarely ever let me hang. I'm a state Dre, shot Joe in the foot with a 38. After that, we kept seeing increases in the murder rate. Plus Planned Parenthood, help little mama terminate. All the guys serving in them gangways. Dick slide, everybody hit the gangways. Beat the case, but you still did 500 days. Sometimes it feel like we rap strapped up in a got the Pilgrim experiment from back in the days. How the rap reflects our hood in so many ways. You know the alpha male winning. Women only concerned with the pampering and primping. Then all our kids become aggressors or some victims. Black man went missing, they dying or in prison. What a difference in outcome just based on how you living. I think it's time to change the vision, yeah. About 5,000, that's the mission, yeah. United we stand, no division, yeah. 5,000 times 1 million, yeah. We can own the blocks and live in the Do the Bop 5,000 is the cheat code. Me and Ro out in the trenches going beast mode. And no, we ain't sleeping, keep that heat cold. Show you a path to a new life through the cheat code. Do the Bop 5,000 is the cheat code. Me and Ro out in these trenches going beast mode. And no, we ain't slipping, keep that heat cold. Show you a path to a new life through the cheat code. Dope things, tab cribs, they gon' vacant. They so addicted they can't take it, haunted by temptation. They decided they gon' take it, bust the window, yeah they break it, tear the walls from copper, take it. Owner find out and they hate it, hit with cold violation in a desperate situation. They just moved up out of state and ready to close the chapter, wait and close the deal. I got that cake and I just planned on me a vacation. Time to change administration, no need for long deliberation. I think it's time for liberation, time for us to rebuild our nation. Toast to this and libation, give us free, I'm feeling Haitian. Whoever gets us free in our mind deserve decapitation. Why we always leave our hood in evacuation? Things ain't adding up from all my calculations. We need to change through our education. We can make a difference through our preparation. Fix your credit over time through some mediation. It seems like we need mental emancipation. All that's really involved is some dedication. And even more implementation. We done had enough destruction, we need creation. Hope you feel this message like penetration. You know I'm coming with these bars, it's ejaculation. I'm on space station. Hit me and bold enough for the cheat code demonstration. Do the Bop 5,000 is the cheat code. Me and Ro out in the trenches going beast mode. And no, we ain't sleeping, keep that heat cold. Show you a path to a new life through the cheat code. Do the Bop 5,000 is the cheat code. Me and Ro out in these trenches going beast mode. And no, we ain't slipping, keep that heat cold. Show you a path to a new life through the cheat code.
You know, we have to, I mean, you already know that conversation. So part of my plan is to give violence a job and put the neighbor back in the hood.
Right.
You know,
Exactly. Bring the brother back. Bring the brother back to the hood. Bring the brothers back to the hood, man.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, we need. What the hood is lacking is called brothers. Brotherhood. That's what we missing.
Right. Same thing in the neighborhood. We lost the neighbor in neighborhood.
Exactly.
If you really want to know the truth, my vision is on the same magnitude as Elijah Muhammad or any one of those people. I see my life. I'm not trying to produce a religion, but I'm talking about a mass movement of black folks that gets on the radar.
Right. Now that makes sense. Hey, I'm about to sing you this song real quick then, called The Cheat Code.
Oh shit, send it to me.
Man, just give me like 10 seconds of what the Bop 5000 is, real quick.
It's a comprehensive.
Right on. I love that song. I hope you were on since 7 o'clock so you can actually hear all of the lyrics to that song, because even before we begin to speak this evening, that song encompasses everything that we inspire and intend to do inside of Bop Project 5000 with assisting our people with becoming homeowners so that they can add to and build that wealth generationally that we seek to do and to have for our families. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the collaborative conversation, Flip That Hood, BOP Project 5000. If you have found yourself on this call, you are in for a treat and you have become honorarily a member of BOP Project 5000 and the family. So welcome to the family once again. This is our second call for the week. It may not necessarily be an encore call because there are no riffs, there are no scripts. We did not rehearse anything. Everything that comes from the lips and the mouths of everyone speaking this evening is from the heart, is from the mind, is from experience, and it is based on intention. Okay? And so with that being said, I would like to welcome you all again. I am Tony Kadir. You can refer to me as Bert Kadir, Tony Kadir. Just don't call me when you ain't got no money. No, I'm just playing. All right. Family, we are here to give you some information around BOP Project 5000 and to make sure that you are clear before you leave this call that you have an opportunity to capitalize. You have an opportunity to become an investor. You have an opportunity to become a homeowner. You have an opportunity to begin building your wealth by becoming a homeowner. What we also want to stress during this call is that no, you do not have to have a 700 plus credit score with this program. This program. No, you do not have to have $10,000 to $15,000 down with this program. No, you do not have to have a cosigner with this program. And with this program, not only do you get the tools that you need to become an investor and a homeowner, but you get a built-in team and a built-in mentor with your brother, Roland Davis. I want to say a little bit of context before I bring him on to the screen. And that context is this. And you'll hear us stressing this and repeating this because it is the truth. And the truth does not change. The truth does not change. And the truth is this. All of our communities that we consider to be our communities have either gone through a transformation with gentrification or will go through a transformation with gentrification. The question is whether or not the indigenous people of these communities will be a part of the gentrification, or will outside folk come in and outstrip folk who are indigenous to their community with these properties and with these houses. I mentioned last night that I lived in the South Shore area 15, 18 years ago. And I mentioned that I was there. I remember the influx of other people buying houses, buying $200,000-$300,000 condos in neighborhoods that were deemed to be uninvestable, in neighborhoods that were deemed to be too dangerous to walk down the street at night. However, you had, and this is not a racial thing, this is just a matter of fact thing, because you tend to notice a young white woman walking her dog down the street at 10 o'clock at night on 68 and Bennett. You're going to notice that 18 years ago. Okay, you just are. All right. And you'd ask yourself, how is it that she feels comfortable in spending $200,000 to $300,000 on a condo in the middle of the hood, unless she sees value that other people are not seeing? Where you have people fleeing, you have other people seeing. Where you have people fleeing from violence and pain and destruction, you have other people seeing a come up, other people seeing an opportunity, other people seeing a way for them to invest and profit from that investment. BOP Project 5000 is hell-bent on helping 5,000 people become homeowners. And we have the tools, and we have the knowledge, and we have the cheat codes that are necessary to bypass most of the traditional hurdles, most of the traditional blockades that will keep the average person from becoming a homeowner and building wealth. Another thing that I want to stress before I bring Brother Davis up is that often we do not believe that we can still own homes, that we can still invest in properties if we don't have those aforementioned things, if we don't have the 700 plus credit score, if we don't have the $80,000 a year job, if we don't have the $10,000 to $15,000 down payment. Those things keep us from even trying. And what I want to get across to you all this evening is that we are removing those blockades. We are removing those restrictions. We are helping you get across and over the hump and the hurdle so that you can become a homeowner and an investor. So we want you to understand at least one thing this call, and before you leave this call, is that yes, you can. You can become a homeowner. You can become an investor. You can build traditional wealth. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right. And so, family, we don't want to be long, but we do want to be strong. I want to make sure that you guys are clear. Do not leave this call without answering or asking every single question that is on your mind around how it is that you can become a part of this movement, become an investor, own a home, and do what you've been wanting to do all this time, and you just did not have the way and the means. And we are here to provide those ways and those means. Family, we often talk about our neighborhoods by name, like the low end. I'm here to tell you that in just a few more years, the low end might as well be called the high end, because you will not be able to afford to get into that area if you do not have a certain income. All right. Bronzeville, you might as well call it Goldsville, because it's going to lighten up very fast. Okay. The areas in which we have prided ourselves in being the indigenous people, the indigenous inhabitants of, is disappearing quickly. And this is prime real estate and prime property that we are just not seeing the vision and the opportunity. But everybody else, the Arabs, the Asians, the Caucasians, all see the opportunity because they are looking past our pain. They are looking past the violence. What they see is prime property. The same way that folks looked at deserts in Nevada and envisioned casinos and envisioned hotels and fancy restaurants and all of the fanfare that comes along with Las Vegas, none of that was there. That came from a vision. The only thing that was there was sand. And what we want to do is imbibe you with that same vision, that same intent to build our communities, become homeowners, become investors, and build generational wealth. I'm going to stop running my mouth right now, and I'm going to bring to the stage, to the forefront, my best friend, my mentor, my homeboy of 20 or so more years. Think about 20 years. He knows more than I forget. Okay, I'm getting old. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm getting old. All right. And so we have been rocking for quite some time. And I believe it's been about 20 years or so. And this man has been, he's been in the real estate game for about that long. And he knows the ins and the outs of this game. He is also my mentor and a mentor to a lot of people who have come up in this game. I'm talking about Mr. Roland Davis. Brother Roland, are you on the call right now?
Absolutely, and excited to be here. Thank you, my brother.
Absolutely. You got it.
All right. Well, first, let me give it back up to you. I really appreciate your enthusiasm, your experience, and most of all, your loyalty to the transformation of our communities, and your friendship has been invaluable over the years. And so I want to thank you for those kind words. And I want to
Yes,
welcome
sir.
everybody to tonight's call. We call this a community forum because we are speaking in a forum to our community about how we take the block. As Brother Kadir said, my name is Ro Davis. I'm the visionary and co-founder of an organization called BOP, Project 5000. BOP is an acronym that stands for Building Our Posterity. This movement was built on the very premise that the children are not our future, but rather we are our children's future. In order for us to give them a future, we have to be intentional about the next generation. And when we consider the fact that affordable housing is disappearing, we consider the fact that everything is going from brick and mortar to click and order, we realize that artificial intelligence can do the work that any one of us can do in a fraction of the time, and they're about to release robots into the marketplace at the beginning of 2025, then what we know is that 80% of the jobs will not be there. And we know that when you start throwing terms around like giving people a universal basic income, as Elon Musk, the wealthiest man in the world, has been talking as of late in the wake, if you will, of the release of those robots that will replace 80%. I want to say that again, 80% of the jobs that we do, they will be able to eventually do those jobs better than what we see. And what's written on the wall is that the middle class is disappearing, that there will only be the haves and the have-nots. Because when you consider that affordable housing and the equity in people's homes comprise the majority of Black wealth, that's where Black wealth is concentrated in. And you take out the jobs that most of the middle class did, and then you start putting a welfare system in place, then what that says to me, that if we're going to be intentional about empowering the next generation, then we need to start lording over the land where we stand. And so tonight's call is about how we take real steps, how we take the block, stop talking about taking the block, and how we actually do it. I've been in real estate the last 25 years. I bought and sold over 1,000 properties. I owned a mortgage company. And just to be quite honest, I found my passion. This for me is my life's work. And I am just excited today that my life's work is finally at the point where I'm ready to give that work to the world and to lock arms with other like-minded individuals and to bring our entire family. Our family is not necessarily defined as the people who share the same bloodline, but people who share the same mindset. And what mindset is that? It's the mindset that says that even though it may be difficult for Black people to unify, that we're going to find a way. We realize that the only way that we're going to get through this is that we have an impenetrable sense of brotherhood and sisterhood, that we realize that if anybody is going to make a difference, then that person is you and I. So now the question becomes, how do we make that difference? Well, funny you should ask. This is why I created my course that I call Flip That Hood, which is a crash course that develops developers. I'm proud to say that today I'm now an author. I've written a book to complement the course that I call Fix, Flip, Own, the Cheat Code to Win at Real Estate in the Hood. Now, many people may get confused and believe that I'm just trying to sell a course or to sell information. That could be farther from the truth. Although our goal is to sell hundreds of thousands of these courses to people who look just like you. It's not the course that we're selling, it's the blueprint. It's the algorithm of how we work together, how we lock arms, how we take the block, and more importantly, how we become successful at investing in real estate in the hood. Within my book, I have identified 10 to 12 cheat codes that I have relied on over the years that were born out of the pain of experience in trying and actually buying, selling, and owning real estate in our communities. Today, those cheat codes are the battle-tested moves that we've got to master in order to be successful at owning and taking the block. And so I want to encourage you to go out there and get your copy of that book. I want to encourage you to come out to my course this weekend, where we're going to be launching both the book and the digital version of that course that I call Flip That Hood. And so we're going to be doing that at Mercy, the old Mercy Hospital, which is now called Insight. And so don't worry if you're not in Chicago, you don't actually have to be there. You can tune in virtually, but by all means, you need to tune in. Because when I look at just the neighborhoods that we have already lost, just here in Chicago, you may not be in Chicago and these names may not be familiar to you, but in principle, we have been losing neighborhood after neighborhood across this country to outside gentrification. Here in Chicago, the neighborhoods that we lost is one of the most iconic ones, and that's Cabrini Green. How many people remember Good Times? Good Times growing up was one of my favorite shows. Well, that movie was filmed in a Chicago project, and at the time was one of the most dangerous communities in Chicago. You didn't want to get caught dead after dark in that neighborhood if you weren't from there, because you might just get caught dead because you was that new guy. So what happened with that neighborhood is that somebody saw beyond, as Brother Kadir said, our pain, our suffering, the violence, and the crime. And they saw the fact that Cabrini Green was located near the downtown area, close to all the major expressways. And they understood that as we move into an energy crisis, people are going to work, live, and play in proximity to where they live. That thought, that vision, and more importantly, those efforts have led to others outside coming in, buying up that land. Hell, they may have been gifted that land by our politicians, and we didn't raise a fuss. We probably applauded that process because we were running out of those neighborhoods. It was like a badge of honor to get out the ghetto or the hood and go somewhere where you can find a safe environment to raise kids. No shame there. But while we were running out of those neighborhoods, they were running into them. And today, the same hood where we have bled, we've laughed, we cried, but where we have lost so much to the war on drugs, which was really the war on black people, we lost the opportunity to pivot from that pain and that suffering and to build the same type of generational wealth that those people who were willing to jump in while others jumped out. So from there, we lost areas like Woodlawn. We're losing Inglewood, South Shore. So this is a trend that we've got to stop because other people don't see our pain. They see cheap real estate. And I need you to understand that we have the best ability to take advantage of that opportunity if we have the right blueprint and understand the cheat codes. I can show you how I did exactly what I'm saying you can do. I took $1,000 investment and I built $1 million rental portfolio, and I did it online to prove to you that this can be done. So don't think that because you may have bad credit and no money, that this is not the right time for you to get involved. This is the best time to get involved because if you understand how I got into this game, I want to tell you just a little story. So I need you to bear with me. So I lost my father and my brother back in, I want to say, 2000 to a fire. My father was estranged from his wife. He was living in one of his friend's buildings. I think his best friend, he was living in his basement apartment in a multi-unit building. And while he was asleep, my younger brother started playing with matches, as kids sometimes do, and the kerosene heater blew up, caught on fire. My brother got caught in the explosion, and my father died of smoke inhalation trying to save my brother. Due to the fact that they were in a basement, the landlord, which was his best friend, had illegal heating there, and he shouldn't have had the kerosene heat in the first place. And out of guilt and pain, he helped us to sue his insurance company. And since my father had gotten remarried during that time, that left me and my 3 sisters, who were his biological kids as well. But he was divorced from my mother. It left us with only $10,000 to split between the 4 of us. I think I got $2,500. Mr. Beecher, which was the landlord and my father's best friend, felt so bad that he decided to take me under his wing. And he suggested that he would give me a building and teach me real estate so that, as some type of compensation, if you will, for the loss of my father. And that's exactly what he did. He agreed to sell me, I think the building was at 7108 South Blackstone, the 4-unit building there on the corner. He sold it to me for $85,000. But I had one problem. My credit was bad and I didn't have any income. I had just graduated from college. And in fact, I came back from college and moved back in my parents' home. I was there with my mother and my stepfather. And so my stepfather was like, you're going to get a job. So I was looking for somewhere to work. I almost took a job at Church's Chicken. But as fate would have it, I went to Chase looking for a loan. I didn't know at the time what the requirements were. I put on my best suit. I only had one suit jacket. And I had a favorite tie that I wore anytime I really wanted to impress people. And I remember going to the bank. And I don't know if you've ever had this experience of somebody telling you what the qualifications of a particular thing are. And I'm listening, I'm smiling and writing shit down. But I couldn't wait secretly to get the hell out of there. Because I was dead at the credit I needed. Because at the time, I was a fresh out of college credit student or college student. And like most of us, I was never taught how to balance a checkbook or the power or even the value of credit. So when they gave me all those credit cards, I did what most of us do. I fucked up. So discouraged but not defeated, I went and did what I love doing the most, and that's eating chicken. So I went to J&J's at the time, ordered some chicken, and was really, really depressed because I knew he was giving me a good deal. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. And while I was waiting, I saw a sign that said, want to own real estate, good credit, bad credit, no credit, we can help. So that spoke directly to me, given my experience. In fact, I called from the chicken place and called the lady called the place that was on the number. A lady answered the phone and invited me to come by the office. It wasn't that far away, so I went. And plus, I was still dressed in my best studs.
Right.
And since the bank wasn't impressed, I figured maybe she would, right? So I went, and it was there that I began to understand creative financing. And the lady was so impressed by me. She said, you know what? In addition to this deal, which she recommended that my mother finance it because my credit was just, I had nothing that was even remotely available credit or income wise that would qualify me for a loan. But the problem was I hadn't talked to my mother about it. But she offered me a job. And since my only other option was Church's Chicken, as a manager, I took it. It was all commission. And I say all of that to say that I learned how to do creative financing and how to buy and sell properties through that experience while working there. My first deal, in fact, was a deal that I didn't own. There were some Polish people who had a property that they were trying to sell. And that property was, I think they wanted $35,000. It was on 85th and Escanaba at the time. And I had a client who was trying to get an FHA loan who fell out of the guidelines of the property that she wanted to buy, but she could get a loan for something nevertheless. So I had a bright idea. I said, even though I wasn't in a position to buy a property and fix it up, I was able to take a property that somebody else had bought and fixed it up, and they left equity in it because they couldn't sell it. I had somebody over here who I knew could get a loan for at least $65,000 based on her qualifications, but I also knew she didn't have a big down payment. So I took the $65,000 loan that she could get, and I used that to buy the property for 35. I closed in the morning. Dry closed is what we call in the morning for 35,000. And then in the afternoon, I closed with a loan for her for 65,000. When you got done with the closing costs, there was 55,000 on the table minus the 35. I walked out of there with 15 or 20,000. And that's when the light bulb went off. Is that there are creative ways to do this real estate game once you understand the cheat code. Now, you can't do that particular concept anymore. But in principle, what I learned is that even if you're not ready, there are people out there who are ready and they have a dilemma. That dilemma is they may have been able to buy it, fix it up, but they need a buyer. And so you know people who are buyers. You know people who need help. Your network is your net worth. We're going to show you how you can use a referral and make money, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and organize your warm market of family and friends so that when you do get your credit, because we do need credit and we do need money, but we have a strategy within our system that allows you to, while you're fixing up your credit, you can be referring people who want to buy and people who are in trouble, and you get a commission. So no matter whether you're at the bottom of the totem pole or at the top, we have a way that we can empower you. You couldn't be no worse than I was. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, and I can help you do the same. So the opportunity is here today. The opportunity that's here today won't be here 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Because the same properties, like properties in Inglewood, like the one I bought 2 years ago, I bought for $200,000, is now worth $425,000 on 65th and Peoria. In 5 years, that was just in 3 years. Where do you think that property is going to be in another 5 years with the way that other people are coming in and buying up those properties in the face of a housing shortage? While we running out the front door, they're out the back door, or front door, they're running through the back door and taking those properties and dividing the risk and unifying around the mortgage and then spinning off from those deals. And after they help their family and then buying properties and growing their footprint, we can do the same, family. And so over the next few months, we're going to build this call. We're going to grow this network with my course, the book, and other resources that you and other people are going to bring to the table. And we're going to flip our community ourselves. And so I want to challenge you to get people to this call. This call is going to happen on a regular basis, even when we're not necessarily doing an event. We're going to do these calls on a weekly basis so that we can build momentum. I want you to join the Flip Dat Hood network. I want you to join our Facebook group. I want you to come out. I want you to buy the book. I need you to immerse yourself in this vision. It's time for us to move beyond talking about it, and it's time for us to be about it. And so with that, the information that you need is to register for the course is in the description associated with this post. But I'll tell you, I think that whether you're seeing this after we did the event or you're a part of it and you know you're seeing it before the event, at some point it's time for you to take action. And I want to challenge you to do that. And you couldn't be with a better group of leaders. You're going to meet those leaders. You met one, Brother Tony Kadir, and there are other leaders who are going to help us to grow this vision, to grow this effort. And we're just excited. So that's what I have for you today. That's the first time I've ever told that story publicly. So I need to make it shorter, make it more impactful. But I just want you to understand that I'm no different than you. I understand the challenges that we have financially, which is why I created a system where we can pull ourselves up by bootstraps without a whole lot of money, but a whole lot of information and knowledge that we can convert into capital. Your credit is your most valued asset. And so that's something that we can help you with. But you got to take action. You need to come to these calls on a weekly basis. You need to invite people. And most of all, you need to take action with the course and the book. So with that, Brother Kadir, that's all I have. Let's open up the floor for questions or concerns. And if there are none, we can close out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. First, I would like to say that was a powerful testimony, brother. I do remember reading that account on your Facebook page, but it wasn't with that much detail. And hearing it come from you was more impactful than reading it. And just wow, brother, that was powerful, man. That was really powerful, brother. In addition to that, family, I want to reiterate that this is a collaborative space. And what I mean by that is we are in different places and different spaces relative to this conversation with buying back the block. Some of us right now are ready to buy our first homes. This program is for you. Some of us already have our first home and we would like to become investors. This program is for you. Some of us are not ready to invest, not necessarily ready to buy that first home, but would like to rent from someone who is not a slumlord, someone who has their best intentions in mind, someone who will give them a fair deal with a decent place to live. This program is for you because what we would like to do is build a network where we are assisting each other in that paradigm. I have a home, you need a place to rent, I got you. I'm selling one of my homes, you're ready to become a new investor, I got you. You're ready to put your 23-year-old or 24-year-old son or daughter into their first place. You want to give them the game. So instead of putting them in the rat race and the rental rat race, you show them how to get their first piece of property and build wealth from there. Again, this program is for you. Some of us think that we need to do this by ourselves. No, you do not. You do not have to do this by yourself. Not only do you have a team and you have a mentor, you have friends, you have family, you have aunts, you have uncles that you have not had this conversation with. And lo and behold, once you have this conversation with them, you will find that you have a lot of people in your inner circle, in your network, that's thinking about the same thing. I was thinking about that yesterday is what they'll say. I was thinking about that last week. I've been thinking about getting into some property. I've been thinking about buying a building. I didn't know you were thinking about that too. And so, bam, there you go. Instantaneous business partner, someone that you can trust, someone that you know, that you can put your twos and fews together and make something work. Again, this program is for all of you and all of us. Okay, so I want you to be clear about that. I also want you to be clear that this is a program where you can earn while you learn. You can earn while you learn. How so? Referrals. We have at least 25 to 27 properties to go right now. If you have a chance and opportunity to come out on Saturday, we're going to have that list ready. We're going to be chopping it up and having a real conversation that we can act on immediately, because buying back the block cannot continue to be a conversation. It has to be lived. It has to be realized. It has to come to fruition, but it will only come to fruition when we put our twos and fews together, put boots on the ground, go forward, and make it work. All right, family? So with that being said, I would like to open the floor to any questions, comments, or concerns, comments, or questions. If you got them, let them roll. Right. Okay. I'm also glad that this is being recorded, Brother Bro, because this is, and again, I would like to reiterate this. There are no scripts, family. There are no rehearsals. Me and this brother didn't meet up backstage and get our what we're gonna say together. This is pure passion. This is pure experience. This is pure intent. This is us doing what we have been doing for years. Okay? Brother Rowe helped me get my first piece of property back in 2008. And what we are rectifying or attempting to rectify this time from that time is that we want to imbibe people who are becoming investors with the knowledge on how to do it over and over and over and over again. A duplication process so that you can build and that we can build this wealth, family. All right. Brother Rowe, you were about to say something. What you got?
No, I was just echoing what you said about, the ability to make money through referrals. Your network is your net worth. And I just want to encourage people that no matter what point you're starting, we have a blueprint and a strategy for you. And it's up to you to make the step to join us and take the time and see what it is that we do. This is not network marketing, although we are going to market these properties and the things that we do within a network. But this is not the MLM industry. And so I don't want to give that impression, although it may be influenced by that game, because I was in that game, and Brother Kadir as well, for over 15 years. And so there are a lot of things that I learned from being in that type of business. And but it's not that. This is the real deal. Not that that's fake, but this is something that I just think that everybody could and should and will participate in, who are serious about change and serious about creating generational wealth and serious about building a better world for all of our posterity. So with that, that's all I have to say. But you did an amazing job, brother. And I thank you. And I thank those people who listened and stayed in this to the end, because, we don't have a script. I didn't expect to say none of the shit that I said tonight. I had some ideas of what I wanted to say. And I just went totally off record onto a tangent. But I pray that that tangent connected to somebody out there who may have been and who are in the same situation where you got bad credit and you ain't got no money and you think that this is not for you. This is exactly who it's for.
Yeah.
And, it reminds me of that hair club commercial. When it comes to bad credit and no money, I'm not only the president of Bob, but
right.
I'm a client. I was that brother, with bad credit and no money. And because I took effort, and I learned how to leverage my network and other people's credit and other people's money. Today, I'm in a situation where I can empower you to do the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was perfect, brother. You went off on a tangent, whatever you want to call it, but what came out of your mouth was perfect in the time and perfect for this situation, brother. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Well,
yes, sir.
Did anybody have anything additional they'd like to add? Well, if not, I want the DJ to close us out with the movement anthem. We call it Now or Never. And it is going to blow you guys away at some point when you really understand and listen to these words. And so, DJ, we're going to try this one more time.
Now and never.
There it is.
There we go.
Smoking brushes now and never. Classic classes, this selection now and never. PhD bars, been professed now and never. I don't need my bag, I'm talking head first now and never. About 5,000 is the answer now and never. Monday night magic dance now and never. Took the red pill up my stairs now and never. I'm just building our posterity. 2 hands, little mama got dexterity. Give me clarity. Trying to build a foundation through these charities. I made money, my bitch, I told her marry me. Had to regrow my green, it looked like celery. I'm just flipping all these bricks without no felony. Joe is cooked up on this beat, this a recipe. I believe in myself, I invest in me. It's now or never, this my destiny. First person shooter, feel like destiny. Thermoscope, I aim steadily. Driving for dollars, I'm in Beverly. Made my own films, no academy. You my brothers and my sisters, we all family. Who tricked us into treating each other savagely? Now or never. It's now or never. Now or never. Right now I'm smoking precious. Now or never. Classic classes, this selection. Now or never. PhD bars, been professed. Now or never. I don't need my bag, I'm talking head first. Now or never. About 5,000 is the answer. Now or never. Monday night magic dance. Now or never. Took the red pill and up my standard. Now or never. This a rogue wave, I got you surfing. Been building this since 99, flicking and earthing. Lambo life a river dirty. Time to take our future back, nigga, no mercy. If you wanna be fair, I'll turn you to jerky. I left my ex, but it still hurt me. My heart broke, no, it's not working. Rolled up some pressure, we submerging. She grabbed my shifter and reversed it. She a practitioner, head of nursing. No, that's not my first show, I've been rehearsing. This dripping got you drowning, it's immersive. Bars make you believe in yourself, they coercive. AMS told me focus on my purpose. Know the feds watching these bars make them nervous. Kill the bitch, shimmy, yeah, I might need some hearses. It's now or never, now or never. Right now I'm smoking brushes, now or never. Classic classes, this selection, now or never. PhD bars, been professed, now or never. I don't need my bag, I'm talking head for now or never. About 5,000 is the answer, now or never. Monday night magic dance, now or never. Took the red pill and up my standard, now or never.
Joe.